This is totally impromptu, okay? I'm just sitting in my Jimmy Jammies. I'm having a lazy day today. My hair's a mess. Sorry, it's humid weather. My hair's all frizzy. I thought I'd just try out a new camera I've got from my website because for my camera on my laptop has decided to go bye-bye. My son says new driver. I've tried uploading new drivers. I've tried loading and unloading, uninstalling, reinstalling. I'm looking at the camera, looking down here. Look at the camera. So I've uninstalled and reinstalled it. So unfortunately, that's not worked. I've done system checks, when you check for bugs and all that kind of stuff, and it's tried to help me with that. The computer's tried to do a few bugs, antivirus, all that kind of stuff. So I've done the thing where you go in and you check off the apps to see which apps are using the camera at the same time, and it's confusing because one's Zoom and the other one is Microsoft Edge, I think it is. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I've got myself a little cheapy thing off Amazon that arrived today, and I thought I'd try that. So, and I thought I'd do a few cards. So this is just going to be a short one today because I really do need to rest. But I just want to see if this works. I thought I'd just do a quick live. I've been meaning to do one all week, but I haven't been able to. So now I can. So it's yeah, it seems to be working. So if I keep looking up and down, I'm looking at the screen where my face is, but the camera's up there. So I don't mean to be, but I'm going to need to look at the screen to see what cards I've got. So the first card I'm getting is for you. I feel like there's someone there, female, who's looking at moving or feels concerned they may have to move. There's movement. It's either travel or it's a house move. So you've got the Knight of Wands here, which is kind of saying here that there is movement. The Knight of Wands is very, very much the type of young man who doesn't let the grass grow under the feet, gets things sorted. That's fire energy. That sort of very, very forthright, very action orientated, very sort of no bullshit. Let's get this job done kind of energy. All about action. But sometimes this card comes out for travel. So there might be travel on the cards. But in this case, I was picking up someone who's worried that they're going to lose their unit or their house. And when I say that, I'm kind of thinking, is that going to happen to me? But, you always think about that, don't you? So it's not me. This is you. And I feel like this is someone out there who's feeling a bit anxious because of the rental market. And they're not sure if they want to stay or go. I feel like there's something to do with them wanting to move because the house they're in is maybe not big enough, or it's undesirable to them at the moment, or they need to be somewhere closer to somewhere else. If they've got kids, they want to be close to their kids' school, that kind of thing. But again, these readings can pertain to a few people, so not just one person. So, but travel and house move is on the cards, and I feel because it's the Knight of Wands, it's going to be successful. Then you got the Strength card. So the Strength card is basically saying here that you don't think you're strong enough, and you are. And it's definitely about believing in yourself, believing in your strength, believing in your capacity and capabilities. I've said this to many times before. The woman is soothing the lion. So basically, if you're also confronted with something big and scary or confrontational, instead of pushing back, try and soothe the beast. You'll get a lot more out of it that way. And that doesn't mean you should acquiesce and sacrifice your needs and be humiliated. I don't mean that, but that sense of what's the term they use? That sense of placating, and using your words, just sweet talk, and bring them round. And you might be surprised. I can feel that they're going to be, whoever this is, you're a bit scared of, or not scared but wary of, might actually be putty in your hands the moment you say some sweet words that make them feel a little bit more relaxed. So it's about communication. It's about knowing that you can handle it. The wait is over. The Hangman reverse. So this is Odin on the tree of tree of life. No, the tree. It's not a tree anyway. I can't remember the history behind it, but it's Odin. He's the god, and he's suspended upside down on the tree to sacrifice, to learn what it's like to sacrifice. So this is the sacrificial card or sacrifice card. So they're saying here, because it's reversed, it's saying here your sacrifice is over. You've done enough. It is now time for you to reap the rewards of all that you've worked hard for. Oh, the itchy nose. I got an itchy nose. Sorry, I got a very big nose. My dad had a very big Roman nose with a bulbous end. I look like my granny Elsie every day, who's my dad's mum. She's saying cheekbones. And my mum had a ski jump nose, so you can see there's a touch of ski jump nose. So I've got, I look at my nose, I'm like, oh, it's itchy. There's a lot of it to itch. So I don't know if you look at your own genetics and look at your mum and your dad and think, well, that looks like my dad and that looks like my mum. And yeah, and I've got a lot of my dad in me. I've been told I'm a lot like my dad. Um, my mum would say, you know everything, just like your father. I'm a clairvoyant. I'm a psychic medium, so I kind of, and I've got all the clairs, not just clairvoyancy, but I know things. You know, you just can't help but know things. And like there was a neat meme on Facebook I copied today that said that we've all got mediumistic psychic. I don't like people. People often go, "Oh, you're so great," and they kind of say, "You know, oh, you're good at what you do." And it's like I don't like to hear that because I'm not in it. I'm not in psychic mediumship for ego. It's purely altruism. But I mean, it's nice to hear it, but you know, you kind of cringe, go, oh, don't say that, because it's not about that. It's not about um, proving yourself. But you know, where was I going with that? Anyway, so I like to keep it real. Do you know what I mean? World card. This is about cycles and full circle moments. It's the end of the major arcana. So it means you've gone through all the journey from the full, which is 0, through the world card, which is 22. No, 21. Yeah, 21. So your full circle moment is the world card, which means you're at the end of a cycle. And at the end of the cycle, I'm looking at the camera again, sorry. At the end of the cycle, you're actually find that you're wrapping things up. I feel that you are wrapping things up at the moment. You're seeing a lot of things leave. People leave your life that you've had to let go of, and you realize on one hand it was sad losing them, but on the other hand you felt relieved, like you knew it was the end of those friendships. You knew it had run its course, and there's an element of newness. And I think it's the newness that scares us, isn't it? It's the newness of, you know, what does this mean for me? Am I ever going to have friends again? Am I ever going to be accepted? Or is it me? You know, we kind of look inwards, you know, but this is actually, I can sense in you this feeling of, oh, thank God for that. So there's this feeling of relief. And I think you know that you've learned lessons there. No harm or foul, no maliciousness towards anybody leaving your life. It's just sometimes some friends come in for a long time, some are only for a short time. And I just think that you're at the end of a cycle, that's when you start clearing out a lot of things in your life, as well as friendships. Last card is the Six of Wands, which is the success card. Now he's just been to battle and he's got the wreath on the end of his wand, and he's kind of saying, "Look at me! I've achieved the medal. I've achieved the trophy. We've won in battle. Let's go back and tell our gracious leader how we've triumphed over here." So the Six of Wands is this quick shortcut name called it is a success card. So the success after a battle. You've won this battle. You just can't believe it, and you're so kind of wary of it, another battle coming, because we often think that, don't we? When one battle finishes, we think another one's following right up the rear. Life is always going to have those kind of ebbs and flows, yes, absolutely, but not in this case. I feel like you can breathe for a little bit, you know, but success is there and it's hard work rendered. I feel like you're just free of some things as well. Also a sense around you, a change in job or career, or a change in role at the job place that you work now. So you don't have to leave where you are, but it might be a change within, if that makes sense. But I feel like there's changes for the better. What I want to get for you as well is that you're going to have to change and adapt with the changes and not see them as a bad thing. See them as a good thing because there's new things to learn. Don't be afraid. Embrace the newness with courage. Okay. So yeah. So if that if that meant anything to you, let me know. Excuse me. I've been on the floor. I've been pottering all day, and I was on the floor cutting out bits for a costume. I'm doing another costume. I'm going through the years and years of accumulated fabric that I bought from numerous fabric stores, and I'm just making things just to sort of help my psychological, emotional well-being, keep me happy. And I don't know, do you like making things? Do you like baking? I know people love baking, men and women. Go for exercise. Some people I know go for hikes in nature, photography, kayaking. I've got a kayak in the spare room, which I'd love to use at some point. But yeah, just today I'm just trying to take it easy. It feels like a Sunday. It doesn't feel like a Saturday. But I'm being forced to sit down and do nothing if I can. So it's been a bit hard. Like I said, I've been doing a bit of craft work and that. But so at last I've finally gotten a camera up and running. Next time I'll be more prepared. This is totally impromptu. That's why my hair's a mess. I'm sorry. I'm in my hoodie, my other hoodie. See, my hair's an absolute mess. I used to have really thick hair. My hair's not as thick as it used to be. And it's wiry. It's gone sort of different now after menopause. So, yeah, I've got a grey streak in it somewhere as well. Silver streak. Yeah. Yeah. I used to henna my hair. I don't know if you know what henna is, but it's like a plant that's ground down, and you dye your hair, and you can have. Mine was deep copper red, so it was a combination of indigo and henna. So it was like a deep sort of burgundy color. But you can have like bright oranges and stuff like that, and you can have really dark indigo color. But it's cheaper, and it's good for your hair. Better for you to use henna than it is dyes, and it lasts longer. Absolutely does. And I used to have to do the roots myself, which I wasn't very good at. It's not very easy. So there's remnants of it in the end of my hair. So, but if you are someone who wants to dye your hair and you don't want the chemicals in your system, henna is brilliant for it. Henna Moon is the company I used to get through, and they're really good girls. They're really good women. Good value too. They're not too expensive. They used to have a shop in Fremantle, but they ended up going online. I think it was during COVID, maybe. I don't know, before COVID. But I used to buy it online, and they used to just post it to me, little sachets and that to sort of to do the roots. So yeah, and it's raining here. Been a bit thundery and lightning and stuff like that. And anyway, I'll stop yabbering on it. Yeah. So Lionsgate today. I'm a Leo. My birthday it wasn't last week. It was the week before. Geez, that's gone quickly. 30th of July was my birthday, but there's Lionsgate today. So massive stuff. And then next week, Wednesday, I think it is the new moon, because I love the new moon, or what I call it the dark moon, which is where it's not waxing and it's not waning, or kind of, you got the full moon at one end, you got the dark moon at the other end. So it's when the day after that is the first crescent, and it's sort of waxes, doesn't it? So that's on Wednesday, and it's an eclipse as well. So it's a big stuff going on. So and one reader was saying to keep it low and don't do much. And don't say much and watch. So that's what I'm doing anyway now. So anyway, I hope you're doing well. Look after yourselves. I'm going to say, how do we get out of this? Oh, there we go. And yeah, I'm going to try and start doing more lives again, more YouTube, and more readings and stuff. I want to experiment with other stuff as well, not just tarot. I have got some rods, the divining rods I'd like to use as well. So I'm going to have to get used to looking at the camera. So see, there you got the camera there. Look down at my face. Look at you. It's instinct, isn't it, to look at the face that you're looking at to talk to it? But it's like there's the camera up there because oh, never mind. Anyway, have a good weekend, guys. Bye.